morning. I'm Etiquette Teller's Student Council member. We would like to welcome all of our students, staff, community leaders, and most importantly, our veterans to Long Beach Middle School. Our school is extremely excited about today's celebration. It's our goal today to show our veterans how much we appreciate their service and sacrifice. At this time, we ask you to please stand for our presentation of colors.
Mark time. March. Left. Face. Ready. Hook. Present. On. Ready, two, mark time, mark. Right, face. Forward, mark.
Please be seated. I would like to call Dr. Tim Holland, our principal, to the podium to say a few words of welcome.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Long Beach Middle School, I would like to welcome you to our program today. A couple of announcements real quick. If you have a cell phone on, please silence it at this time. Also, I'd like to recognize any city officials or special guests at this time. If you would stand, please. As I go through this program every year, we lead into this. This is my 8th year as principal at Long Beach Middle School. I'm always looking for something to say when I get up here other than welcome. Those words have always escaped me. I'm stumbling through social media this morning and I found something I would like to share with you that I thought kind of embodies our program and what we're trying to accomplish here today. Kind of a definition of a veteran. It says a veteran is someone who, at a point in his or her life, wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America in the amount of and up to, including my life. That is an honor that too many of us in this country no longer understand. Thank you guys so much, and we hope you enjoy our program.
As we gather today to celebrate Veterans Day, it is important to understand the history behind this celebration. On November 11, 1919, President Woodrow Wilson made November 11th Armistice Day. It was a day set to recognize the one-year anniversary of the First World War. In 1954, Congress recognized this holiday as a national holiday for veterans of all wars. Unlike most national holidays, Veterans Day continues to be observed on November 11th, regardless of what day of the week it falls. This helps to preserve the historical significance of the date and focus attention on the important purpose of Veterans Day, to celebrate our veterans. Today, Veterans Day serves as a symbol for all Americans to honor our country's veterans for their patriotism, love of their country, and willingness to serve. November 11th is the day we ensure our veterans know what we appreciate their sacrifices to keep our country free.
Today, Long Beach Middle School is honored to have with us as our guest speaker, Commander William McCarran of the United States Navy. Commander McCarran is a native of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. In 2002, he graduated from the University of South Alabama with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Commander McCarran was commissioned as an officer in October 2002. He completed officer candidate school in April of 2003. Commander McCarran has held various positions throughout his military career. He volunteered for an assignment in Iraq from November 2004 through April 2005, where he was a project manager for the construction of Iraqi Army base in Kirkuk. Another of Commander McCarran's career highlights is being in charge of planning the recommissioning of NMCB-11. NMCB-11 was a battalion that CMA-3 Marvin Shields, the only CB Medal of Honor recipient who served during Vietnam War, was a part of. In 2007, NMCB-11 was recommissioned in Gulfport. Commander McCarran has also served as a project manager, supervisor, and officer over numerous other assignments during his time in the U.S. Navy. His personal awards include the Joint Service Commendation Medal, Navy Commendation Medal, 3 awards, and the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, 3 awards. In June 2019, he reported to his current position as the Executive Officer of Naval Construction Battalion Center in Gulfport. Please help me welcome Commander William McCarran.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? I thank Long Beach Middle School for inviting me to come here and speak today. It's really an honor and privilege to come and speak to the students here and to the wonderful people that are here, those in uniform and those who served prior, friends and family, teachers, and the students. I want to also give a shout out to the teachers here at the school. Without the teachers, we wouldn't have the future that we have here in this wonderful country. So give them a round of applause. So I was told not to speak too long, but I know y'all have to be out of class, so you want me to talk long, right? Yes. All right. So we're here today to come in and talk about Veterans Day. You know, what is Veterans Day all about? As was mentioned earlier, veterans are folks who served in the military prior, had prior service in the military. Almost all of us know folks who have served in the military. Raise your hand if you're a veteran to start off the show. How many veterans we have in here? Give them a round of applause. Celebrate Veterans Day, and it's very critical that we must celebrate this. And the reason why I say that is veterans and people in the military is what gives us this country the freedom that we have. As y'all probably already learned about, the U.S. Constitution is what gives us this country. It builds the foundation for our government. And in the military, we all take an oath whenever we join, and usually goes something to the effect of, I state your name, you solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against enemies, foreign and domestic. So that is something that we are proud to say and volunteer to do as people in the armed services and as veterans have done in the past. So we must recognize the efforts that were done by the veterans because it secures our freedoms and liberties that we have today. Nice thing about being in the military is you get to travel the world a lot and see different things, and some things you take for granted here in this country. When you go and see other countries and talk to people who are living now in those countries, what they've been through in the past and stuff, you really get to recognize that the country we have is a wonderful country, and we owe it all to the veterans. So I want to thank the veterans here for the work you've done, and thank you for the military that are here to show force in this town. Because my main point was, one, is what Veterans Day is important about. It's to defend our Constitution in this country, and we owe a lot to these veterans. But the second point also is kind of challenge you all to go out and thank a veteran. You know, whenever you're growing up, it's kind of, you don't really know what a veteran is. You might know somebody who wore a uniform, they're a little older than you are, or maybe your parents or something like that. So you're kind of wondering, who the veteran is, what have they done? So we've already mentioned that, they gave us our liberty, our freedom that we have in this country. But they made a lot of sacrifices that some people think that they know, but until you actually experience them, it's kind of hard. Things from like whenever you leave your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, you go to training, and then you actually go to your first assignment. And a lot of times your assignment's not where you're from. I'm blessed because I'm near station close to home. That's kind of uncommon. So the things you go through whenever you're in the military, it's not easy. You move a lot, you meet a lot of new people, and then there's the part you see a lot in movies. There's the wars, there's the fighting, and that's what a lot of the veterans have gone through. You have World War II vets talking in their stories. That was a very great war. Then you go on to Korea, Vietnam. And then the ones that you might more be familiar with is the operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. I was a part of that. And that's a very hard time for a lot of the veterans that went through that. So what I would challenge you is that try to look for veterans. If you see them, go up to them and thank them for the service that they've done to this country, to give them their freedoms, to secure it, because they've been through a lot. And they greatly appreciate it. And I know a lot of you folks, I'm not a very social media savvy person, but I know a lot of you are, so I challenge you to go out, greet them, report it, and then do a hashtag, Long Beach Veterans Day. And let's see how many veterans you could go out and thank and show them your gratitude for all that they've done in their time in the service, because it is a hard time in the service, especially whenever they've seen a lot of combat action. So I wanted to keep it brief because we have a lot more things to go here. I greatly appreciate the chance to come up here and speak to you all, and have a great day.
Good morning and welcome. This morning, as the choir sings, we ask all members of each branch of the military to please rise as we sing your theme song. We begin with the United States Army. Please rise.
Soldiers are making sacrifices, joining the military, serving our country, leaving family behind, and even some losing their life. As Americans, there should not be a day that goes by where we don't remember those veterans. The brave men and women we honor today selflessly gave of themselves to defend a way of life that we so cherish. The rights of all people to determine our own futures, free of oppression and fear. Words cannot properly honor those that have given their lives. Let us take a solemn moment to remember those who paid the ultimate price.
At this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize veterans from specific wars. As we call out the name of the war or conflict, please stand to be recognized.
Veterans of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation New Dawn, 2003 to 2010.
Veterans of Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, 2001-2014.
Veterans of Operation Desert Storm, 1990 to 1991.
Veterans of the Vietnam War, 1959 to 1973.
Veterans of the Korean War from 1950 to 1953.
And last but certainly not least, will any World War II veterans please stand, 1939 to 1945.
like to take a minute to honor all of those military students here at Long Beach Middle School and recognize that you too also make a sacrifice for our great freedoms. At this time, would any of those students who have parents that have served in our military or are currently serving in the armed forces please stand? I Serve King, originally written by a military child named Mary Keller when she was in the 5th grade.
He puts on his fight suit, he puts on his combat boots. He puts on his dog tags, he puts on his hat. He packs his duffel bag and says goodbye. I may not wear the uniform, but I serve too. He missed my music program, he missed my birthday. He missed Christmas. He missed my soccer games and swim games. He missed our family vacation. He missed my achievements. He is gone when I need him most. I may not wear the uniform, but I serve too. I let him go for your freedom of speech. I let him go for your right to vote. I let him go for your right to be free. I let him go knowing he might not come home. I may not wear the uniform, but I serve too. I see the flag and I feel brave. I hear the anthem and I try to be brave. I hope for the day I can embrace my hero. I may not wear the uniform, but I serve too. Thank you. You may be seated.
Middle School Student Council sponsors a fundraiser to coincide with our Veteran Day program. In previous years, the student body has raised money for the Mississippi Honor Flight Program, the Back Bay Mission Project Honeymoon, the Wounded Warrior Project, and the Veteran Community Living Center at the Biloxi VA. This year, the council chose to donate the funds to the Wreaths for Biloxi National Cemetery Program. The Wreaths for Biloxi National Cemetery Program is a project that began in 2013. The goal of this project is to place a wreath at each gravesite over 20,000 military members and their dependents who are laid to rest in the 54 acres designated on the Biloxi VA campus. In the inaugural year, 3,000 wreaths with bows were placed. As the project has grown through generous support of our community, Union's Family Funeral Homes has joined in the effort to bring awareness to this noteworthy cause. Each year, since 2013, on the first Saturday of December, thousands of volunteers gathered at the Biloxi National Cemetery to help lay the wreaths. Would Jason Green and the representatives from Wreaths Biloxi National Cemetery please come forward? On behalf of the Long Beach Middle School, we would like to present this check, $1,603.09 to the Wreaths for the Biloxi National Cemetery project.
Thank you, kids. What a great honor. Before we get started, I think a big round of applause for the band and the musicians for the great job. As Morgan stated, we started this program back in 2013 as a way to recognize those veterans and their dependents who are buried at the National Cemetery. There is a program called Wreaths Across America that a lot of the adults may be familiar with. However, the only problem is those are fresh wreaths, and they did not consider the climate here in South Mississippi when they began placing those wreaths, and they would last about 3 days. We teamed up with Crusaders for Veterans and our local staff here at the National Cemetery and began a program. Our goal was in 10 to 15 years to be able to place a wreath on every grave at the National Cemetery, which this year will reach right at 25,000 grave sites. We accomplished that goal last year in just 5 short years to place a wreath on every single grave at the cemetery. And it's because of donations like this, other generous supporters throughout the community that have allowed us to do this program. If you've never been out there during the month of December, it's tremendous to drive through and see all of the wreaths that are there. We have generous support for people to store them. We have replaced last year 10,000 bows on the day before. This year we will replace another 10,000 bows just to keep things looking fresh. If you are available, the first Friday of December, we gather out at the cemetery grounds and we unload all of the tractor trailer trucks. There's 3 of them that hold all the wreaths, and we will replace the bows and get them situated. On the first Saturday morning of December, I invite each of you to come out to the National Cemetery. The specific times will be noted on social media and throughout our regular media. We'd like you to come and assist us in placing these wreaths. For those of you that have been a part of that before, would you please raise your hand? All right, we thank you all so much. And it takes, some of you may think that it takes all day to do this. It takes about 20 minutes because we average anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 volunteers that show up. It's a tremendous family outing if you have any family members that are buried there. It's a great way to show respect and honor to our veterans here locally. Once again, on behalf of the Riemann family, the Crusaders for Veterans, thank you all for what you do. This money will go towards, once again, replacing those bows that we need to keep the cemetery and to honor those veterans and their spouses and other dependents that are buried at the National Cemetery. Once again, thank you all for your service.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our student council members who worked very hard to prepare for our program today. We would also like to thank the choir and band for the wonderful job that they did, as well as our administrators, the school district, for supporting this endeavor. To all of our veterans and their families, please join us in the cafeteria for a reception. Our student council members will lead you at this time. Thank you.